Dice Company contains fantasy violence, mature themes, and unapologetic bickering. No feelings were hurt in the making of it, but listener discretion is advised. Dice Company will always be free, but it's not free to make. Please consider supporting us on Patreon or Apple Podcasts and get access to our weekly roundtable show Extra Roll. Just follow any of the links in the show notes for this chapter.
Vander has sacrificed himself to the Bergen, and in its place, a gigantic ancient gold dragon has risen. The former Yogg-Sothoth, protector of the Tree of Life, stands before you. It stretches its wings wide and releases a roar, demonstrating its frightful presence. Patrons Sixor and Tok, wisdom saving throws please, DC 24.
Scheiße, that's not how I thought this was going to start. I haven't got even a pathetic argument for advantage, really. DC 24, I can't roll a 24.
If you can get close, Tok might be able to help.
8.
No. Tok rolls a 10 as well.
It's 25 for Petron.
That's bullshit.
Plus 8 wisdom modifier.
Is he the bravest or just the most foolish?
TBC.
Tok and Sixoro, you are frightened for 1 minute. Tok, roll a d20.
A 10, the average result. Almost.
What would you like to do?
If I'm getting to choose, I want to leave instantly.
There is a portal.
Sixor is going to shout at the dragon, "What have you done with Vander?"
The Yogg-Sothoth watches you carefully, one eye gold, the other red. It then shakes its enormous head, like a dog trying to avoid a wasp.
I think Sixor is tempted to stand right by the portal, but just see if the dragon is going to come towards us.
So hold action, run away.
It's obviously going to squish us if we let it. But I just want to see if it makes even the slightest aggressive move towards us. I think we just tumble away.
Can you twist that Brave Sir Robin song to have Sixor as the character?
You can hear the gentle sound of Tok's knees knocking.
Like Sixor has said, Vander can't have just disappeared, so he must be around somewhere. So maybe we've got some sort of obligation to stick around. So Petron takes a hesitant half step forward. You're the Yogg-Sothoth, aren't you? I'm Petron. I'm a Furbolg, as you can see, and I think something has happened to you. You're not quite the Yogg-Sothoth of the legends, but I'd like to remind you that you are the guardian of the Runethala and of the Furbolg people. So, what do you say to that?
Give me a persuasion check, please.
I think I used up all my good persuasion rolls on Alexa Storm all those sessions back. 9.
Roll me a d20, please.
Well, that doesn't sound good, does it? 13.
Oh dear. Is 13 a bad roll in the traditional roll a random thing?
Yeah, normally.
Sixor takes half a step away from Petron.
He's standing in front of the portal.
What a hero.
It looks up, and with a bang, it flies at almost imperceptible speed up through the roof to the sky above. Trailing behind it, attached by a single cable, is the Bergen. The sarcophagus crashes into the roof of the sanctum, the cable snaps, and it lands with a thunk onto the cracked floor. The new hole created by the Yogg-Sothoth begins cracking, and the roof starts to collapse. What would you like to do?
Gotta grab Vander, lads! And Sixor is going to run towards that and...
Tok will follow Sixor to help lift it.
Does anyone have tools that might be useful to crack open a sarcophagus?
Absolutely not.
So Tok has got stoneworking tools and smith's tools and thieves' tools.
I'm happy with any of those.
I think that Tok's going to work with Sixor here, in which case stoneworking tools seems the most appropriate. Big lump hammer. So I think we're going to smash it open. So 27.
Ho-ho-ho-ho!
Tok hands Sixor one of the two big lump hammers, and they very delicately smash the shit out of the lid. Aiming to crack the thing and then break up the small pieces, just dismantle the entire lid.
Having smashed the lid to pieces, you look inside. You find a collection of Vander's possessions. A dirty black cloak, with a seemingly impossible number of pockets, one which contains the flintlock, a glass walking stick, the crown of Cantioch with some scrawled writing on the inside, 2 rings, one shattered, and Vander's mask, splattered with blood.
Oh no, Tok. Where's Vander?
He appears to have dematerialized.
I don't know what that means, Tok. Is he dead?
Uncertain. I will have to investigate. Tok is going to pick up his things, especially the ring, the broken ring.
We gotta get out of here.
I don't know what's going on here, Tok. We've got to go. Let's go. Seekzero helps with grabbing the stuff and is bolting for the tree.
Tok is going to take out one of the sending stones, send a message to the fleet to say, basically, alarm! Large metallic dragon, possibly hostile. Flee if possible.
Yine Tok.
Come on, Tok, we haven't got time for this.
In the sky above Misery, sunlight catches the Yogg-Sothoth's scales, turning its body into a burning constellation. Beautiful and terrifying. There is no warning for the air fleet of Shale. Harry, roll me 2 d8s. Please re-roll any duplicates.
I get a 1 and a 6.
The Yogg-Sothoth inhales and the world seems to draw breath with it. Fire pours from its maw in a roaring torrent. White hot! The flame scours the mountains, through the remains of the Furbolg settlement, and engulfs everything that moves. The crews of the settled ships scatter, silhouettes erased in blinding light. Wood ignites, stone cracks, life is reduced to ash in seconds. At speed, the Yogg-Sothoth smashes through the gravedigger, tearing it asunder before flying up, splaying its wings to the sky. It roars triumphant as what remains of the air fleet of Shale scatters. Welcome one and all to Dice Company Small Embers Chapter 97, where a group of friends weave tales of triumph, heroism and despair under the guise of playing Dungeons and Mecha Dragons. My name is Tom, and I'll be your DM for the continuing adventures of What Remains of the Order of the Heron. What Remains of the Order of the Heron, please introduce yourselves and tell us one fun fact about your characters.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I am playing Oberon Seekzero. A couple of weeks ago, my excellent fact was unfairly lampooned by fools, philistines, and charlatans. So this week, I represent that fact in full detail. Please sit back, ladies and gentlemen, for the ballad of Arthur Cottage.
Jesus Christ.
Arthur Cottage was an ordinary boy. Sandy-haired and freckly, he was shy, polite, and rarely late. Years later, after he was famous, his former teachers and classmates pretended to remember him, but in truth, hardly any of them did. After a middle-of-the-class education at Warden Erickson High School in Frost Hollow, Arthur drifted from job to job, ending up as a dispatcher on the Hogmail postage system. But one day, after watching a gloomy clown trudge past him in the street, Arthur had an epiphany. Why must I live like this? He asked himself. There must be more than this life of quiet desperation. And without even going home to find his best boots, he strode out of the city to become an adventurer. His travels took him across the continents, from the frozen mountains of Lumatorn to the deserts of Nebuchadnezzar, the misty forests of Roanoke to the plains of Asmodeus. Arthur funded his life by stealing, and he became known across the world as the most light-fingered pickpocket ever to live. But he dreamed bigger, and began to build a gang to carry out larger heists. The Cottagers, as they became known, robbed banks, museums, and stately homes across the continents. Shut up. Arthur oversaw the building of a lair beneath a potato field near River City. Deep underground, his gang constructed a machine strong enough to tunnel into any vault in existence. But then, tragedy struck. The Cottagers were piling back into their lair after a heavy night on their homemade potato moonshine when one of them tripped, and they all fell down a steep tunnel and landed in the tunneling machine. The machine switched on and ground every one of them to bits, then roared upwards into the lair's ceiling, powering through to the field above. Arthur, who had been out romancing the daughter of a nobleman, returned in the morning to discover a grisly scene of minced flesh and potatoes. And that, my friends, is how he invented cottage pie.
Phenomenal. First question. Was the original cottage pie human flesh?
Apparently.
Well, now, yes. So any of our listeners who have ever enjoyed a cottage pie are now sickos.
Yeah, only in the world that you've now created.
I delivered all of that with a really annoying tickle in my throat.
Yeah.
I almost needed to cough every word I just spoke. But I thought I'd double down on a really shit fact. And,
Amazing.
Go a different way with it.
Hi, I'm Harry, and I play Tok, an imposing 6'8" automaton.
Hey!
Tok has had only limited time to process the ramifications of Vanda's fateful decision. The sarcophagus is clearly linked to the Yog-Sothoth, its apparatus superficially similar to the healing chair in the library aboard the Gravedigger. Torrhen spoke of sacrifice to prevent disaster, yet had no contingency in place. A ruse cannot be discounted. Did Torrhen intend to enter himself, or press an automaton or captured Furbolg into service? Tok at least could predict Vanda's recklessness as a general case, and previously he enacted countermeasures to save his friend from himself.
That's lovely. Well, I think what I really like about that is that you knew what Vanda / Charlie is like as a player. You built a contingency. You presented it to him without mentioning the contingency, but gave him all the information. And I bet you he didn't read to the end of the description of the ring that you gave him.
100% he did.
So while he's been banging on about how he can't die, actually true.
Well,
Up until the point that he did.
yeah, I was going to say he did test that one to the limit.
Lovely.
Hello. Anyone want to challenge that? No? Good. Hello.
I did. I thought it was great. I thought it was a
thanks,
really
yeah.
convincing hello.
Yeah, no, I've been working on it. I've been trying it out every time I join a call at work. Just, hello.
That hello to me said, you might be hallucinating me.
Ooh. Or maybe I am.
It's a distinct possibility.
I'm Dave, and I play Petron Oakflower.
Nope.
And Petron's fun fact for this week is, ever since the Storm's Fall event, Petron no longer dreams. He used to dream. As a young Furbolg, he recollects that he dreamt. But since that fateful day, he lays down to sleep at night and has 8 hours of blank rest.
Yeesh.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I'm sure I could do something about that.
What is it? Good lord. But what does it mean? Because dreams mean something, so surely an absence of dreams means something too.
Either he's not dreaming at all through some kind of magical effect, or his dreams are so terrible he's forgetting them all every morning.
Or he's not sleeping at all, and he's actually exhausted.
When you say dreams mean something,
Yes.
you mean like in stories or you mean in real life?
I'm not falling into that trap.
I was just trying to figure out what I was trying to I was an honest inquiry.
People assign meaning to dreams throughout history. They have. Whether there is meaning to them is
That's true.
irrelevant.
I think my dreams are mostly just nonsense, but then maybe my life is. So that makes sense, I guess.
I've known you a long time. Yeah, I agree.
Daytime, 16 waking hours a day, nonsense. So the other 8 makes perfect sense.
Right. Quickfire housekeeping, and you guys are going to help me out.
Yes.
Please follow us on
Blue Sky!
TikTok.
And YouTube.
Yes. Al, where should listeners come and join us?
The Dice Cord, the greatest community in the TTRPG world.
Close enough.
Fuck.
Dave, where should they leave a review?
On their podcast app of choice.
And on their podcast of choice.
Very nice.
Do we really want them to leave a review on their podcast of choice? Don't we want them to leave a review on just our podcast?
It's too late. We've come too far. I've said it too many times now. It's a thing. It's become lore. And Harry, what should they consider joining, which is the best way to enjoy the madness we produce?
Our Patreon, of course.
Correct. Of course. And please remember,
Please.
death is nothing at all. It doesn't count. They've simply slipped into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. So let's turn the page on the next chapter of Dice Company. Previously on Small Embers, Vander is gone, sacrificed to the Bergen. In his place, an abomination of an ancient dragon called the Yogg-Sothoth, who is taken to the skies hunting the air fleet of Shale. The Order of the Heron remain in the sanctum as the portal to sanctuary and safety closes behind them.
Flies up.
I would find that to be acceptable. Tok will proffer his cloak, and then we'll start flying towards the opening in the ceiling. Okay, inside the cloak there is the typical, or the what you've seen before. There's like cushions. There's like the body of an automaton that wasn't Little Tick. There's the body of Torren that is seemingly motionless in a corner, and there looks like a weirdly automated maybe drinks cabinet in a corner.
So Seatsara turns to Petron and goes, "And you think my crow's nest is a mess?"
Petron's going to grab Vander's flintlock and store it in his robes, because there might be a way to get the dragon's attention.
If we want that. As Tok flies, he's got fly and he's hasted. As he does so, he's going to use the message cantrip to send a message to Little Tick. Little Tick, can you hear me?
Father, there is a dragon! We are fleeing!
That is correct. We will join you, Little Tick.
Above, the airships fare no better. The dragon wheels through the sky with dreadful grace, exhaling arcs of fire that punch through hulls and rigging alike. Canvas vanishes in bouts of flame. Lift crystals rupture with thunderous cracks. One ship, the Hollow Lantern, becomes a falling star. Another, the Sovereign, a spinning pyre, raining burning debris down on the village below. The Yogg-Sothoth does not distinguish between banner or allegiance, annihilating everything in its path. The Sterling takes emergency action. Geddes banks hard to the left. From the deck, two figures fall over the side. It's Gideon and Barilla who topple over. Alex, roll me a d20.
7.
Cool. What would you like to do?
Can we make it there to get Gideon and Barilla as they fall?
100%.
I mean, Tok's definitely going to do that if he can.
And I think Petron's seeing what Tok is up to. Petron's going to use his wild shape and turn into an eagle.
How big is the Yogg-Sothoth compared to the Red Dragon Syndrome? The same size, or?
No. It's substantially bigger than
Yeah, I thought
Syndrome.
so.
This dragon is bigger than the biggest of your airships. Okay, so you are flying to catch Barilla and Gideon.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're doing that, aren't you? And Petron's going to cut off in the other direction to try and kind of circle around the other side.
Tok, you are able to catch Gideon and Barilla mid-flight. In terms of carrying capacity, I'm guessing they're going to go into the cloak?
In fact, Tok will try and fly so they just fall directly into it.
So we have Tok and the eagle both flying through the air at the moment. Were you trying to get the attention of the dragon, Dave?
No, I think what I'd like to try to do, because the eagle's so small in comparison to a dragon, try to land on its neck.
On the dragon's neck?
Yeah.
Without being noticed?
That's my attempt. That's what I want to do.
Cool. Give me a stealth check.
Excited by the tone of the GM's voice.
Let it never be said Petron isn't a hero.
Good grief. The score to beat is 19.
Wish me luck. Good luck. Oh, 21!
Hey!
The eagle lands gracefully on the neck of the Yogg-Sothoth, which does not react to your presence at all. It is, however, closing in on the Sterling. From your vantage point, Petron, you can see Little Tick barking orders and gesticulating at Geddes as the ship banks left and right, trying to stay out of the path of the dragon.
Okay, Tok's going to fly up to try and rejoin the Sterling.
Okay.
And Petron is going to return to his Furbolg shape and whisper in the Yogg-Sothoth's ear. And he's going to say, Yogg-Sothoth, I know you're in there. I'm the guardian of the Ruinthaler. I'm the owner of it now. I've been given a sacred task to look after it. I know that that's your task too. I know you're in there. I know it. Stop this.
Ooh, that's really good. Give me a religion check, please.
Interesting.
And I know religion is normally about the learning side of it, but I don't want to give you a persuasion check because I know that your modifier is shit.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I want to give you a fighting chance.
I mean, this feels like a reasonably decent-sized roll, doesn't it? Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's a 6.
The Yogg-Sothoth, realizing that you're on its back, begins to shake its head, which does draw its attention away from the Sterling for a while. Can I have a dexterity saving throw, please? DC 22.
22. So I need natural 20. Oh, that's a 19.
You are shaken from the back of the Yogg-Sothoth and are in free fall.
So as Petron plummets through the air, he uses the Featherfall token to slow his flight. And as he does so, he shouts, "Vander, I know you're in there too, and you'd better stop this!"
Tuck, you see Petron falling from the dragon, and the dragon,
Screaming like a madman.
you can see, yeah, screaming like a madman. You can see the kind of the energy building in the chest of the dragon as it's about to unleash a blast of fire breath on the Sterling. What would you like to do?
Have we got to the Sterling yet?
You have enough time to either get to the Sterling or go down to grab Petron. He has Featherfall, so you don't need to do it to save him, but I'm trying to build a bit of dramatic weight here, so... Decision time! This is like Spider-Man with the Green Goblin!
Tog's going to go to the Sterling, because that's the thing in most immediate danger. As for what we can actually do... Right, Sixora, you're out on the deck of the Sterling.
Hell yeah.
Father! We may be about to die!
How good do we know? How good is Geddes at flying the Sterling? Do we know?
Very good. He's one of the old-hand sailors from Shale.
He's that top man.
Okay, right. Tok is going to walk up to Geddes. He has a syringe that is just going to be shoved into Geddes' arm. This is going to be enhancing his ability to make, I'm assuming it's dexterity checks for avoiding.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is now like, you can see his eyes suddenly go wide and slightly bloodshot. Geddes is now on fire and probably also feels like he's slightly on fire.
Absolutely amazing. Okay, Harry, you can roll for Geddes. Can you give me a dexterity saving throw at advantage, because Tuck is helping, with a normal modifier of +7, plus whatever your spell just did?
That's I rolled a 10 and an 8. I don't know what is that. His Tok, in a flash of genius, unspeakable genius, tells him to list lazily to the left, thus mimicking Han Solo.
Excellent. So that gives him a +5.
Another +5, yes.
So that is 10, 17, 22.
Yes, 22.
That is a fail.
Oh, God.
24 was the DC. Sixoro, roll me a D6, please. Standard dice.
4.
The Yogg-Sothoth's eyes narrow as it focuses on the Sterling. Watching as it banks left and right at speed, Geddes doing everything he can to shake away as it prepares to unleash Armageddon. At the last minute, Geddes pivots hard portside, avoiding a crash with another airship, which passes it on a collision course with the Yogg-Sothoth. Aboard the Iron Wake, Captain Plex holds the wheel tight. He glances momentarily across to the crew of the Sterling and mutters, "Gainwander," as he and the ship smash into the Yogg-Sothoth's mouth.
He saved us.
There is the sound of twisting metal and creaking wood, and you see an explosion kind of fill out which covers the Yogg-Sothoth. The Yogg-Sothoth has been slowed down. What are your orders, Captain?
There was a big explosion. Can we try and, ground the Sterling and hide? There's mountains around here, aren't there?
There are mountains directly beneath you.
Can we immediately, dive and try and hide from this thing? So I don't think we're outpacing it in the air.
Interesting. So you want to pivot and hide. I'm going to say yes, because the explosion is so massive and so unexpected, I would imagine, that the dragon, while still alive, is currently twisting. And if you imagine the sky around it is like the clouds themselves are almost on fire as it's shrieking in pain and spinning in midair. So you have the distraction to get down to the ground and effectively hide if you wish to.
I think that's very definitely what we're going to do.
Still feeling the after effects of Tok's injection, Geddes, following Tok's orders, pivots hard and the nose of the Sterling dips down as you hurtle towards the ground at high speed. Just at the point where it looks like he might crash, he pulls back on the steering wheel, that's right, and lands gently and perfectly in a small wooded area on the side of a mountaintop. On the side of a mountain, not a mountaintop. We actually want to hide you here, not just have you sat there out in the open.
To assist in hiding, Tok is going to take out the small tree with a weird rope string thing and like give it a pull so that the tree will, on top of the Sterling, at least try and make it blend in to the canopy above.
Absolutely beautiful.
If only we had a druid here with plant growth.
Speaking of which, Petron!
Whee!
You've just seen a massive explosion, the dragon spinning around and like blowing fire in all directions, the destruction of the fleet, and the Sterling itself has just careered down, but you haven't seen what's happened to it. You are hurtling to the ground at high speed.
Is that Featherfall token single use?
Yep.
Shit. I'm going to attempt to enact my potentially foolish plan.
Oh god.
And as Petron falls through the sky, he feels around in his cloak for the token that his good old pal Indigo gave him that allows him one teleportation.
I totally forgot you had that.
And he boldly flee.
He's going to return to the neck of the dragon and give it one last shot.
You're fucking mad.
Yep.
What is wrong with you?
Does he start with, hey buddy, I think we got cut off?
You take the token given to you by Indigo, and with a blip, you reappear on the back of the twisting and turning Yogg-Sothoth as it blows fire out into the clouds, setting the entire sky alight.
And
Oh my god.
Petron
I'm nervous.
grabs on tight. He's not being stealthy this time. He just grabs on tight to the dragon's scale and he whispers, I won't give up. I'm not going away. I know you're in there, Yogg-Sothoth. You're the guardian of the Runethala, and this is not what you should be doing.
Petron, give me a religion check.
What do I need?
You need 22.
Oh, that's a lot. 22.
This is an ancient gold dragon. This is not some schlub down at the docks.
16.
Once again, in irritation, the dragon lashes out. Instead of just flicking you off its back, this time, however, it flicks you off its back and attempts to bite you.
Oh, unkind.
Petron turns into a cactus.
That is a 28 to hit.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a hit, isn't it? Obviously.
I think so.
2d10 plus 10. Please take 20 piercing damage as it bites into your leg. What would you like to do?
Well, it's not really what I'd like to do, because presumably I'm falling through the air.
You are falling through the air. Again.
Can I have a swing at it as I drop with my staff?
I don't think you've got your staff. I think you left your staff in the sanctum as a tree.
Oh, shit, I did.
Oh, it's okay. We can go back and get it.
A despondent Petron just allows himself to drop through the air for a few seconds before wild shaping back into an eagle and swooping away.
Going back to the dragon to land on its neck.
Because this is the second time you've attempted to persuade the dragon, it is now watching you as you fall and then as you change, and is going to attempt to snap at you again. Can I have a dexterity saving throw, please?
This is going very bad. This is why people don't try and be heroes.
DC 18.
Or at least not twice. Oh.
Oh, that is a natural 1 for 3.
Please take 27 piercing damage as it snaps at you.
Let's see how many hit points does an eagle have.
It's a giant eagle, right?
Well, I don't think it's going to do a difference because a regular eagle's only got 3. So I think
Giant Eagle might have a bit more than that. But...
Giant Eagle has got... Oh, no. Giant Eagle has got exactly 26 hit points.
Oh, shit.
Oh! It bites into you, and with a puff of feathers, you retransform into Petron. You are falling through the air fast.
Ooh, dear. Oh! I cast gaseous form.
I was genuinely worried. I was like,
was
I don't know how
genuinely
he's going to
worried.
get out of this.
Yeah.
Ow. With a pfft, you transform into a gaseous cloud. The dragon confusedly looks around and then begins circling over Misery, blowing flames into the sky and roaring in rage.
On the Sterling, Tok is going to get the crew and the automatons to basically try and attach bits of leaves and sticks and things to the sails and then cover the Sterling to hide its shape.
Nice. Oh, I kind of don't want to give you a check for that because that's so good. I'm not even sure if there is a check for it, to be honest.
Oh, it's pretty simple to do. It's just, trying to hide from a dragon.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's say you do that. Tok, you receive a sending message. Tok, we're caring for the Furbolgs. Salazar's ritual is in 9 weeks. Rosalind out.
Acknowledged. Fleet destroyed by giant corrupted Yog-Soloth, Runthala Protector, circling Misery, will attempt to escape.
I feel a bit sad. I feel genuinely sad.
So the rest of you see as a gaseous cloud appears onto the deck of the Sterling.
Transforms, into a very forlorn-looking Petron.
Just before it transforms, Tok will turn and say, "Ah, Petron, you have survived."
Just about, Tok. As much good as it's done us, I have.
We are not fortunate, Petron. The fleet is destroyed. Vander's fate is unknown.
I know, Tok, but where do we go from here? Seek Sorrow, what do you think? I don't know. What do we do?
I think for now, Petron, we just got to lie low until that dragon goes. We'll have to pick up from there. I don't know what happened to Vander. There's a lot of blood in that coffin, but I don't know about her whole body.
I had installed a countermeasure in the event of Vander's death. Tok will proffer the Heron ring that is snapped. This ring should have saved his consciousness. It is broken, however. This is unanticipated. I will investigate. Tok is going to take the ring to his workshop and start investigating why the hell this thing's broken. You're welcome to come with them if you want.
I think Petron's just going to sit on the deck and watch the dragon.
Yeah, Seek Sorrow kind of wanders about a bit dazed, thinking about doing something similar, but eventually sits down next to Petron and just watches the dragon, realising there's nowhere left to run if it does decide to come for them.
Tok has a couple of ways that he wants to try and investigate this. One, to see if the ring is functional, so he'll attempt to put it on. Does it? If it is, he should be able to speak. If it works, he should be able to speak to whoever is within the ring.
It is just a piece of scrap metal. There are no effects from the ring.
As a last resort, Tok is going to call in some help to try and mentally investigate the ring. But so basically he'll be able to use the detect thoughts to see if there's any trace in there at all.
Give me, I'll use Tok stats on this, give me an Arcana check at advantage.
Arcana.
Tok is pretty good at Arcana. 24.
24. Calling in one of the many helpers that Tok has within his workshop. They attempt to read into what remains of the ring to see if there's any trace left. The first thing that they notice is that there is the taint of a god on the ring. This ring was destroyed by a god. The power of a god, I should say. The soul that should have been stored in the ring has been taken out.
So it does seem that there was a soul in the ring at one point.
Correct.
Ah, okay. So it did work.
It did work.
But then something deity related removed it.
Indeed.
Okay, Tok will put the ring back in like a special like place on his workbench so he can possibly repair it later. So Tok will find Seeksora and Petron and say, I have bad news. My countermeasures were ineffective. Vander's essence was protected by the ring, but a deity appears to have overruled my efforts.
What deity talk? You saying Vander's dead?
Unknown. Vander was technically alive until a deity intervened. His status is unknown.
What deity might have intervened on? Who are you thinking?
The Hushed One?
Hushed One. Well, what does that mean for what we need to do? Do we have to assume we're not seeing Vander again, do you think?
Unknown. We have other allies to worry about. Tok is actually going to take out a sending stone and send to the Overos, because I just remembered that they had a sending message in the middle of... Okay, so Tok will take out the sending stone and say, Overos, we are in a position of relative safety. Can you make it to our location? We are in the vicinity of the Jurima tree that Queenie linked to previously.
The sending message fails.
Ah. Crap. That's not a good sign. The sending message appears to have failed. I will try again tomorrow.
What do we do until tomorrow? Are we pinned here by this dragon, do you think?
That appears to be the case. It is possible we may move undetected.
We need to get my staff back, Tok. I left my staff down in the cavern there. It's become quite important to me. I need it back.
We could go and check on those other fur bogs as well, Petron. There were some down on the level above, weren't there? Above where we were.
That is correct. There may be survivors.
You're right. How do we get down there without the dragon seeing?
We could proceed invisible.
I think that's probably wise.
Do you wish to travel now or wait for the cover of darkness?
What time of day is it? Sorry.
It's like 2 PM.
It's quite pleasant.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice day, actually.
Oh, lovely. That's great.
Pretty hot in places.
So I say, well, if we're invisible, let's just go, shall we? If the crew here think they're safe.
Right, you are. Do you have a spell, Harry? I've got Pass Without Trace, if not.
We could use both. So Tok has invisibility. He was going to he was going to cast it on himself and then fly you guys there in the cloak.
Okay, that's probably a bit of a safer option, yeah.
But, I mean, Pass Without Trace might also be a good move because dragons are pretty good. In fact, I think dragons, they have a limited range ability to see you even when you're invisible.
I don't like this dragon.
It's a bit of an arse, isn't it?
So, yeah, Petron will cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay, and Tok will cast invisibility.
No, Petron won't cast Pass Without Trace because it's in his bloody staff.
Oh, no.
So, Petron has used 2 hit dice and is just short of max hit points again.
Yeah, Tok's used 2 hit dice and is also just short.
I've used all 11 of my hit dice and I'm also now full.
Seeksora needs a nap.
Tok is casting invisibility on himself, but not in the normal way. He is going to climb into the cloak with the other 2, open up the strange drinks cabinet thing that he's got in one of the sides of it. And inside is a variety of potions, powders, and syringes. He's going to take one of what looks like potion and sort of slather it all over himself. And it sort of seems to seep all over his armor. And he very quickly turns invisible. The others feel like the sudden absence of a large metal automaton from the cloak, and he will take flight.
Nice.
So that's where I'm storing my glyphs. Remember, they were saying I can't actually take them out.
Yeah.
So I've installed them in a drinks cabinet.
Very nice. And Tok takes flight back towards the sanctum. So you cruise through the air in the late afternoon. It doesn't take you long before you spy the dragon circling above Misery.
We'll keep low so we're out of the way. Hopefully.
Stay below radar.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a stealth check. At advantage.
Is it just like a, 30 to pass or something?
Okay, for a total of 28. And Tok can add Flash of Genius as well.
The dragon rolls 18.
18 is a natural 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, that's not so bad. Okay, right. Well,
Staying low beneath radar. Not that radar exists in this world, as we've established previously. You're able to cruise to the big hole in the heart of Misery.
so Tok will try and find. I mean, we kind of know the layout of the place. We're going to try and find a way into the grove area.
Okay, yeah, so you head down to where the grove area should be, or used to be, but the hole created by the Yogg-Sothoth has entirely destroyed that section. You can see that there are kind of mountains of rubble, and you can see a few Furbolg hands as you scan the area buried beneath the rubble.
Petron's gonna jump out and call for survivors. See if there's any response. Is there? Do I hear anything?
There is no response, and you can see the kind of remains of the dead tree as well, which is splintered and split.
Petron's going to walk over to the dead tree and just kind of place his hand on it in a gesture of despondency. And Petron turns to Tok and says, It looks like there's nobody to save, Tok. Let me just go and get my staff.
Understood. Tok will fly Petron down the hole towards the next level and try and retrieve his stuff.
Petron, give me a perception check, please. Or investigation, your choice.
Perception is good.
Tok will retrieve the rest of the mech suit bits, because we've got a whole bunch of them.
Well, I'm rolling so badly tonight. I rolled a 9 on my perception.
There is no sign of the tree in the lower floor, which was created through the staff.
And Petron casts around, at first with sort of curiosity and then with a rising sense of panic. Where's my staff gone? It was right here and nobody's been here. How could it have disappeared? And maybe starts kind of scrabbling around on the floor to see if it's sunk through the earth or something. I know that feels unlikely, but he's just having a proper panic about it now.
It was located in the console. I will investigate. Tok's going to try and investigate the console, see if there's a staff that's fallen through there.
Can I guide you?
Good.
Yeah, Petron says, it's a staff about yay high, wood.
You can have it at advantage as well. And add the guidance. The best guidance we've had.
Thank you, Petron, for defining a staff. I'm rolling terribly. So a 15 plus 2. That's a 17 in total.
Within the remains of the console, on a DC 17, you find the staff of the woodlands reverted back to its staff form.
It is here behind these heat sinks. Tok will retrieve it and pass it to Petron.
Thank you, Tok. Petron hurries over to grab it and inspects it to make sure that it's not damaged or...
There is no damage. It looks exactly as you remember it. It is exactly as you remember it.
It's a pretty small victory at this point, but, it seems like the only win Petron's going to get today, so he's going to take it. While we're here, might go over and examine the sarcophagus again. Is that still in here?
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, just to see if there's any clue as to what might have become of Vander. Now we're less rushed.
Yeah, absolutely. You can give me an investigation check. If someone wants to help you, you can have it at advantage.
Yeah, Tok will help. Little Tick will be busy dragging those bits of mech suit back and then just throwing them into Tok's cloak.
I just can't roll. That's 11 investigation.
Ooh.
Just a battered sarcophagus. Automaton design. Weird needles, which are used hanging limply from the side, obviously to inject into someone's head.
Well, there's nothing... We don't think there's anything to be found here.
I would wish to investigate the console to see how it functions. Can Doc try and actually work out what's going on with this console, how it's actually been...
You can't figure out how it works because of the damage done to it by the... because it was one of the things where either you completely disable it and destroy it using the staff, or you don't, and you guys did. So I think in this instance it's a no.
Yeah. Okay. In which can Tok at least harvest any useful stuff from it? I mean, it must be presumably, yeah.
Give me an investigation check.
That was a straight 17 that time.
Deep within the remains of it, you are able to find a series of diamonds which are being used, which you would assume were being used to harness certain energies and send them in certain directions. The diamonds themselves are worth between 10 and 15,000 gold coins.
Petron turns to Seeksaro and says, Seeksaro, you're the optimist of the group. What have you got? Give us something to hold on to.
Well...
You have a staff, Petron. You may hold on to the staff.
I feel much better now, thanks.
Well, I think there's not necessarily quite enough gore in here to represent an entire dead Vander. And also, I think Top picked up his cloak, but I didn't see any underwear, so either Vander doesn't wear any underwear, or possibly some of Vander and his underwear are missing. So potentially somewhere there's a very injured Vander in his pants.
That is insightful, Seeksaro. I was unaware of Vander's underclothes.
Well, we all try not to think about it, Talk, generally, but on this occasion, I'm joking aside, I don't mean to joke, I'm Gravedigger's sense of humour, I guess, but I'm not convinced there's quite enough blood and guts in here to represent a body, and I don't really see bones and so on. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to close this up and call it a burial. So maybe there's something left. Something with the ring, something with this god. I know he's always going on about the Hush one, but maybe there's other gods, aren't there? Maybe there's a good one that's done something.
I believe Seeksaro to be correct, aside from the likelihood of a good aligned deity associating with Vander.
Did think of that, Tok, but maybe this was a good place once, and there's some sort of, I don't know, one of your sort of woodland type gods, Petron, hanging around under the ground here. Felt like it was a good place gone bad, so maybe, I don't know.
Maybe some remnant of the Nourisher remains here. I suppose that's possible.
Well, we've all survived, haven't we? So
by the skin of our
I
teeth.
don't know. Well, yeah, but we're not gone. So maybe some sort of force prevented that, because the dragon had plenty of chances at us, in particular at you, Petra, and you just kept going back to him again and again. Very impressive. A bit reckless, in my opinion, but hats off to you. Seeksaro takes off his Bicorn captain's hat, particularly because his ship's gone now.
We've got one ship at least.
Right, I'm pretty sure it's not the Gravedigger.
I'm sure the corruption can't be complete on that dragon. The original Guardian must be in there somewhere. I just couldn't get through. I tried my best. I just couldn't. We couldn't reach it.
Perhaps if the machine parts were disrupted.
Petron's tried waking up the good bits, but Tok, you're the expert on the mechanical bits. Anything we could, switch off or unscrew? He says expertly.
Potentially, Seeksaro. I have never before attempted to integrate a automaton part into a living creature's mind.
What about the brain automatons we saw? They were very disturbing. Do we think they can be unmachined, or that those brains can at least come to control the metal suits they're in, or are they captured then forever by Torren and his lot?
Unknown. I have not had time to study. I do have one example. It may prove fruitful.
Could we tie down old Torren, open a few plates and things, get a few screwdrivers at the ready, and then ask him some questions about how to undo all this mess, and then vigorously poke him with the screwdrivers until he tells us how to, get the dragon back to being the guardian of the forest and stop burning our ships?
That may be possible. I have an idea.
All right, we're all ears, Tok.
I will require partial dismantling of Torren and the assistance of a third party.
That's a good idea, actually, Tok. If we just took his head off, couldn't he just answer our questions? He doesn't need a body, does he? He couldn't hurt us. Let's just talk to his head.
With sufficient nutrient flow, you may be correct.
Or got to feed him?
Simply removing the limbs would prove sufficient.
All right. Well, I quite like that. We could question him. Good thinking, Tok.
Where? Do we need to get back to the Sterling, or... I don't know, I have a voice there. Excuse me.
That's good.
I'm just stunned because Alex said we're all ears, and that just went past.
Yeah, Tok looks witty.
Where should we do this, Tok? Do we need to get back to the Sterling, or should we do it here, or what?
Torrens' body is aboard the Sterling.
Right. Well, there's nothing left to save here, so I don't see that we need to stay.
Agreed.
All right then, lads. Well, let's get back up then. We'll get back in the cloak, I guess, Tok, and you can fly us up. Maybe we just pause a moment, though, for the furbolgs that are down, and maybe for Vander. I don't know. If anyone could come back, it would be him. But looking at this, and the broken ring, I think our friend is gone.
That is likely.
I don't think I can believe Vander's dead until I've seen a body. He's so slippery, you know. He's like a cat, isn't he? He's got more than 9 lives. I can't believe. I won't. No. Vander? No. But I'll go before Vander.
Well, I hope you're right that he's gone, Petron, but even if he had 9 lives, he might have used them up by now.
I'll believe it when I see it, I reckon.
Cicero glances at the viscera in the coffin.
We will have to live with the uncertainty, the lack of knowledge.
Well, you could call that hope, couldn't you, Tok?
I will update my lexicon.
Good man. Come on then, back to the Sterling.
Okay, Tok is going to... He'll redo the invisibility, and Petron, I would appreciate additional stealth capabilities.
Certainly, Tok. And Petron can now cast Pass Without Trace.
Ah, that's good, because that was a high roll to beat.
Nice. Okay. Give me a stealth check. At advantage, +10.
And Tok is definitely guiding himself with only a 1. Ugh. Okay, awesome. We rolled a natural 20, so that's 41?
Highest roll of the campaign so far.
That might actually be. I think that actually is.
And I don't think the dragon can beat it, but let's see.
Wait.
The dragon forgets that the dragon itself is here.
The dragon rolled 28 on perception, just so we're clear.
On disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Yeesh.
You take flight towards the Sterling, with the sun beginning to set over Misery. The sky burns crimson and gold, while what remains of the air fleet of shale scatters the ground. You prepare to depart from this most Pyrrhic of victories, yet many questions remain. The status of the rebellion with no fleet, the failure to communicate with Avros, and perhaps, most importantly, the fate of your friend, Vander Finnick. Behind you, the Yog-Sothoth roars one last time as the sky burns around it. And we'll end it there.
You've been listening to Dice Company's Small Embers, starring Dave Windust as Petron Oakflower, Alex Morrison as Cicero, and Harry King as Tok, with Tom Patrick as your Dungeon Master.
Defeated by my own brother, how belittling, and now forced to do mundane tasks for him while I await my fate. The humans of Dice Company would like to thank the following sweethearts for their support. J. Hilda von Greenhorn. M. Corey Mack. Dave Patterson, Boy Genius. Sepulchre Stennet. Marky B. Jenny the War Camel. Stephen Sakura. Nori Gosler. Mickey Arnold. Happy Daddy Scotty. Tika. Rabbi Camel. Team #Stay Toxic. Path Pursuit. Paris Picard. Julia Zeno. Shovels. Queenie. And an extra special thanks, apparently, to our Council of Rojan members. Not my council. The Red Right Hand. Shelby Cat, purveyor of exceptional dice. SJ Phionics. Zeus Legion. Richard Ungamus. Mama Strange. Axel Ronholm. I think I've heard of an orc with that name. And Chris from North London. Where's North London?
I've got Intellect Fortress. I knew I had something up. Okay, can I make another roll? What is that? Advantage? Anyway, so it probably won't do anything.
That's right.
It does nothing.
That was worse than the first one. Oh, that was wild. I genuinely thought we were about to see the end of Petra. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's gone mad.
I don't know. It seemed very... Like, if we could get the dragon situation under control, it felt like that would make a very significant difference to our chances.
Yes.
And it seemed worth the risk.
Yeah, definitely.
It didn't work, obviously. But
No, never does.
It was worth a shot, though. For sure.
I'm not sure. I barely rolled over a 10 the whole session.
Yeah, you guys were rolling like dogs the whole time.
Yeah. There's some bad ones.
Good Lord.
Vander has a bunch of ice, right, for cocktails and such like in his mess. He has lots of fancy drinks.
Before I answer that, continue.
No, with his freezer, the freezer that he's got one of the lovely, like the big chest ones that you keep
There
in
was
your
a
garage.
conversation about ice.
The only reason I'm balking at that is that Harry, specifically in one of the very early adventures, asked how I'd made a certain dish cold without refrigeration. So,
He said
I
ice.
held it at the window.
I'm not saying this is your belligerence coming back to bite you on the arse, but I'm not saying that. Lore.
Thanks for listening. Please consider supporting Dice Company on Patreon, where for the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to a whole other show, Extra Roll, as well as an ad-free listening experience. The Dice Company Discord server, along with our socials, can be found on our link tree in the show notes. If you enjoyed this chapter, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to recommend us to your friends. If you didn't like it, recommend us to your enemies. And we'll see you next time on Dice Company.